Hey, this is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics, and we are back again with another The Spotlight podcast. We have another tremendous prospect on the podcast with us today. But before we get started there, let me just remind those, if you're not familiar with Connected Athletics, we are a startup company based in Austin, Texas. We're focused on using technology and creating a platform that allows student athletes to advocate for themselves and to successfully transition from high school to college and then into a career of their choice once their football eligibility is over. We are using the Spotlight podcast now based on the need because of the NCAA dead period that's happening right now, where there are no athletes on campus for game day visits or unofficial visits. And so every college coach, and me being a former one, we love to ask these questions of student athletes to find out, who they are, what they're about, a little bit about their family background, what they like personally, and are they a fit for the culture and chemistry of the team. And so we've been recording these. We put it out on YouTube. We share it with college coaches, and college coaches love the fresh new content, and the players feel like it gives them a voice involved in the recruiting process. So with all that said, we are excited to bring a new prospect to the show. Trent Scheuerman is a DN. He's a tight end. He's a long snapper from Wheeler High School. He's class of 22. He is 6'3", 220 pounds. He has tremendous size and an even better GPA, 3.8. He's part of the High Honor Roll Society there at his school. And you can see he's serious about this recruiting because he's got his NCAA ID already taken care of. Trent, how you doing this evening?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm looking forward to hearing your story and your football journey for these coaches so they can kind of get on you here. Let's jump right in here. Obviously, the first thing college coaches do to vet out the prospects on their big board is academics. You've got the great GPA 3.8. Tell us in your own words about the importance you put on your academics.
Oh yeah, my academics are really important to me. Like the main thing I focus on, making sure my grades are right, making sure that I'm thinking about what's best for my education, just thinking about my future. So it's really serious to me.
Okay. What are some of your favorite subjects that drive that GPA?
Definitely history, and I'm pretty good at math. I've used to struggle in math, but I just focused down and just like worked at it, and it definitely became one of my strong suits.
Okay. Hey, are there any teachers or tutors or counselors or coaches that have helped you maintain your high academics? If so, shout them out right now.
Yeah, definitely my parents staying on me has helped a lot, helped me focus down. My Spanish teacher, she helped me with my grade because I was really struggling in her class, Miss Vasquez. She definitely helped me a lot, giving me lots of opportunities to get my grade up, work on it, and definitely get that passing in there.
Okay, awesome. Tell us, Trent, would you know one thing that coaches want to know about their prospects is what type of learning style they have. Would you consider yourself a verbal, visual, or hands-on learning style?
I definitely have a visual learning style. I learn way better like in person when I can see what they're teaching and just like understand. Definitely like with like models, all that stuff definitely helps me a lot.
Is it the same learning style whether you're in the classroom or on the field or in a position meeting, or do they differ?
Oh, it's different like with football and stuff. Educationally wise, I'm more visual, but definitely like with like football and stuff. Now I like to see myself doing something like that definitely helps me, but I also learn well just by doing it myself, like going through it myself, just
Okay.
repping it.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Tell us, do you have an idea? You're a junior now. Do you have an idea what you might want to major in when you get to college?
I'm not sure yet, but I do know that one of the things I really want to do in my life is I want to be a coach. Like I want to coach or I want to teach, just something to
Okay.
give back to people.
So maybe majoring in education or physical education?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good stuff. Tell us, one thing we talk about as coaches is a player's body language on the field, but we never talk about body language in the classroom. Tell us if a coach was to walk into a classroom and surprise you, what he would see. Are you sitting in the front? Are you engaging with the teacher? Or are you in the back? Tell us a little bit about your body language in the classroom.
he would, if a coach were to walk in on me, they would definitely like, they would see that I'm at the front. I would be paying attention. I'd have my stuff out working. I'd bring my computer and I'm just working, making sure I'm getting my grades right, and definitely interacting in the class. Like I'm gonna be talking with the teacher, just making sure everything's right.
Okay, good stuff. Obviously, you're a smart kid, 3.0 GPA, but with college, it's going to be a little bit harder. Tell these coaches, if you were to struggle in a class, what is your I call it, what is your methodology to get help in that class? Are you okay with getting help? Are you going to try and get through it on your own? Or are you okay with a tutor? Tell us about what you do when you're in a difficult class.
Absolutely. I mean, like when if I'm struggling in a class, I'm able to ask for help, but I'm definitely willing to do the work to get that stuff right. Like I'm not just gonna hope that it comes to me. Like I'll work with the tutor. I would work with the teacher, just trying to make sure that I'm understanding everything and that we're on the same page.
Makes sense. That's good. What about, let's talk a little bit about, you've got your NCAID. Have you, I know COVID-19 has thrown a wrench into things, but do you have a ACT or SAT test scheduled, or have you already taken one?
I've not taken one yet, but I've studied, and I think I'm gonna be taking one. I can't remember the month. It's if there's one in March, I think that's the one I'm gonna be taking.
Okay, good stuff. Okay. Let's switch over to learning a little more about you personally. Tell us a little bit about your family. What do your mom and dad do? Are you an only child? You the oldest, youngest? Give us a little bit more about the Scheuerman family.
Yeah, my mom works for Deloitte. She's an accountant.
Oh,
And my dad was he did charity work. He worked like stuff like that. Then he switched to just like doing cryptocurrency stuff,
oh
just
wow.
kind of self-employed. And my I have three brothers. I have one brother who is 12. His birthday's today.
Yeah.
And I have another brother who's 14 and a brother who's 18. So I'm the second oldest.
Okay. Are there any other athletes in the family?
Yes, sir. My little brother is a quarterback freshman, and my older brother, he used to play football, but now he is wrestling.
And then you mentioned earlier your dad was a walk-on in college too, right?
Yes, sir. He walked on to Missouri.
Okay, so the athleticism runs in the blood there, which is a good sign. And it sounds like it doesn't mean much, but to coaches, it means a lot when you have come from an athletic family. I know you spend a lot of time getting ready in the off season for the season, and obviously in season. When you do get some free time, Trent, what do you like to do in your spare time? What are some of your hobbies?
Oh yeah. So in my free time, I love to draw. I love to just do artistic stuff. I play games, but I don't really play video games as much as I used to anymore, just because it's like, I mean, I'm so busy, like just working, making sure that everything's right, that I don't always have time to, but I love to when I do. Like to hang out with friends. Haven't had as much of that because of COVID, but
Hmm.
definitely going out to the field, just throwing the ball around, all that stuff.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about. You mentioned drawing. Are you animation? Are you drawing buildings? Well, tell us a little bit more about that creative side of you.
I mean, I draw all sorts of stuff. All from I used to draw lots of animals, lots of people, all that stuff. It haven't had as much time nowadays to do it, but I still definitely got that talent. It's something I'm pretty proud of.
Okay, good stuff. I like it. Recruiting is happening on social media a lot more now on Twitter, Instagram. For a coach that maybe hasn't visited your Twitter page yet, give us a brief overview of what kind of message and how you're promoting yourself in the recruiting process through social media.
Well, when I'm on Twitter and stuff, I'm definitely trying to be very vocal about my beliefs in like how I'm going to be perceived by other people. Like I like to show that I care about the sport and that I'm like I want to put out everything that I'm doing, like putting out my training and stuff. But I want them to also see me as a person and see that I'm like I want to be a leader. Like I want to show people that I'm gonna like kind of like I'm just gonna be like a leader for my team, for people around me, just like lead by example. All
Yeah.
that.
Well, you made a great transition to my next question, which is about leadership. Every coach loves coaching leaders. Tell us, how do you define leadership, and how did you lead on your team this season?
I define leadership as someone that can like fight through adversity and help their other teammates instead of breaking their teammates down. Like you gotta like caring about your teammates, even if they're not your favorite person. You gotta like really fight through it, like lead, show everyone that we're a team. Like you gotta like and you gotta be like loud and vocal as well. Like in my opinion,
Yeah.
like make sure there's energy, show everyone that there's nothing to like fear, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Tell us a couple. I call these my favorite questions. What is your favorite all-time football movie?
Probably Remember the Titans.
Great choice. Okay. When it's your choice, when it's your option to choose dinner, what's your favorite food?
Definitely chicken Alfredo. That's my
Okay.
favorite thing.
I like it. And then what kind of music do you listen to? And do you have a favorite artist?
I listen to all sorts of stuff, but I'm definitely if I definitely lean towards rap, hip hop, and I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan.
Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Tell us, let's say, fast forward, you have 3 or 4 great years in college and you find yourself in New York City at the NFL draft. Who is sitting at your table with you waiting for the commissioner to call your name?
Definitely my dad, because he's helped me through so much with like football and stuff. Definitely my brother, like just people that have been along with my journey. Uh, I would invite my head coach because I have a lot of respect for him. He's a great coach, great man.
And
So
what's his name, by the way?
Coach Love,
Okay.
Brian.
Shout out to Coach Love, doing a great job in that program there at Wheeler. Okay. Anybody else?
Definitely my mom as well. She's helped me a ton with like just like taking care of me, raising me, everything. And my
Yeah.
personal trainer, Buddy Prem, I would
Okay.
definitely like him as well because he's
All
helped
right.
with
I like
my
it.
physical.
Good combination of family and friends and people who have helped you be successful, which is what it's all about. Um, I'm looking at your size right now, 6'3", 220, as you finish up your junior year. Where is that size coming from? And let me just ask you this: what do you think your height and weight will be by the time you graduate next year?
Well, my height and my size right now, I have like my height. I'm gifted with it. My mom is 5'10" and my dad is 6'4",
Okay.
so got height in the family. And my weight, when I before I played football, I wasn't really serious about like anything, and I was just kind of big. And I started like chiseling in and working, and just like working out constantly, and it just like slowly started shaping up, and it's just like become muscle and just helped me like definitely helped me with my size a lot and my
Okay.
quickness. But
Okay.
and my size, my hopefully by the end of this year, like my goal is to go up to 230 something, and I want to gain another inch in height, maybe two.
Okay. Well, that'd be monstrous size. That's perfect
Yeah.
size for a DN coming off the edge, and a tight end, obviously. Hey, tell us, as student athletes, we love when people come out on Friday nights or Saturdays to support us and watch our games. But what we one thing coaches like is for players to give back to their community. Tell these coaches, what are you doing to give back? Are you involved in your church at all? Are you involved in nonprofits? What are you doing to kind of give back in your area?
It's not this first one's not necessarily my area, but when my family's from Kansas City, we're Chiefs fans,
Okay.
but we went up and we did volunteer work with the ALS walk, did the walk, donated all that stuff, just trying to get back, help with that organization.
Mm-hmm.
I've last year I coached for the 8th grade team, just helped some of the kids,
Mm-hmm.
definitely trying to like get a feel for that. And I one time I went out to like a elementary school and helped paint, like just paint like new signs and stuff outside.
Okay. Good. That's good giving back right there. I like it. Trent, tell us, I always tell athletes this, and I know it's kind of opposite of what you may hear out in recruiting, but eventually football will come to an end one day. What do you want your life to look like personally and professionally when football is over, whenever that is, whether it's after college or after a long NFL career?
When football is over, I definitely want to make sure that I'm happy. I have a happy family. I have a good income. I want to make sure I'm successful. Like I don't want to be feeling like regret for how I went through everything. I just want to be able to sit back and like look back at it and be like, this is something I'm proud of. I I gave it my all that.
Okay, good answer. I like it. Hey, let's finish up here with a little bit about you and recruiting and just you as a teammate and as a player. And this is one of my favorite questions, but how do you think your teammates would describe you as a teammate?
My teammate, I mean, they would definitely describe me as someone that's chill, someone that is like understanding, because lots of the time I help out a lot of my teammates with lots of stuff, and I know that they describe me as someone they can trust, as a good teammate that I'm gonna be able to like I'm gonna do my job, and I'm gonna be accountable. Make sure that I'm being accountable for them as well.
I love it. I love that you use the word accountable. It's something that was seriously lacking at all levels of football, high school, college, and pro. So I love hearing that. Tell us, as you finish up your junior year, what do you consider some of your strengths, and what are some of the things you're going to work on going into your senior year next year?
Definitely my strengths right now. I mean, my size is a good strength. Um, my route running ability, something that I worked on extremely hard over the off season, just constantly training that. Definitely one of my best abilities. My blocking, I'm really good at like I'm cerebral. I'm a cerebral football player. So when I'm blocking, I know who I need to block, where the scheme is going, everything. I can tell like what defense they're running, just like from how they're lined up, and I can tell what the guy's going to do. So I'm definitely really great at that, and I'm great at like finding my guy. But I can definitely be more physical with my blocking, which is something I'm
Okay.
going to be working this off season.
Okay. I like it. It's a great answer. Tell us, so do you play a role in special teams?
Yes, sir. I do kickoff return, long snapping. So I'm on our kickoff return and our punt team. I do PAT for snapping as well. So lots of involvement.
Trent, I can tell you, man, college coaches love players that are long. I mean, you could be the greatest quarterback, receiver, DN, or tight end, but long snappers are hard to find. The fact that you can do both PAT and punt is only going to help your recruiting even more. Make sure you highlight that going forward. I love that you do that. Tell us a little bit about, are you a weight room guy? You love spending time in the weight room, getting bigger, faster, stronger.
Yes, sir. Definitely one of my biggest points. Like there's not many days where I'm not in the weight room. Like I'm always working, just making sure I'm eating right. I'm working, just trying to get stronger, bigger. Definitely trying to get that look.
Okay, I like it. And then what about? So I always put players as a coach in two different buckets. Those that love to practice, then play the game on Friday night, and there are some players who don't practice very well, but they shine on Friday night. Which one are you? Which bucket are you in?
I would definitely say that I'm in the first one because I practice really hard because I'm coming from starting football in 8th grade, so definitely had to like work really hard to like catch up to a lot of people and even pass people. So I definitely practice really hard and I put my all in on Friday nights as
Okay,
well.
I like it. Tell me, are you a big film study guy? Do you spend a lot of time watching film in preparation for each week's game?
Yes, sir. I've spent probably the most time on my entire team watching film because I'll just study my opponent just because I know I gotta be. It's a 1-on-1 every time. I gotta beat the guy in front of me. So I just figure out how he plays. I watch his technique, his job in every formation. I just make sure I'm watching and see what he's bad at so I can attack that weakness.
Now, Trent, it's a great response. I think a lot of players that I've helped across the country, they watch the film as if they're watching it as a fan. And I love the way you
Right.
said it. It's 11 individual one-on-one battles. If you're not studying your opponent, you will not be as effective as a player. So that's a great response right there. Tell me, is there a certain player at the college or NFL level that you like to pad yourself off of, or that you look up to in your position?
Well, as a Chiefs fan, definitely like to model Travis Kelsey as a
Okay.
tight end. Definitely like George Kittle and Nick Bosa from the Niners. Those two guys are really inspirational players.
Yeah.
And at the college level, someone that I know personally, Eric Gilbert for LSU. He's I like my stance, my route running stuff, everything is literally based off him because he was the guy I
Okay.
trained.
I like
So
it. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Playing football, as you know, is a lot about dealing with adversity, highs and lows. Tell us about a time in your life where you had to deal with some type of personal or sports related adversity and how you overcame it.
I definitely had some adversity coming from my freshman year because my freshman year I played O line and I told all my teammates I was like I'm gonna be a tight end and a receiver. I'm gonna do all this and they were always like you can't do it. You're not gonna be that guy because you're not athletic. You're not all this stuff. And I just started working and working and training like every day. Like I had no free time and I would just work and train. And I came back the next season and I was like they put me at linebacker and I was playing linebacker for that year. So definitely came and showed people that I could came back and showed people that I could do it. I could be that guy.
Okay. That's a great response. I like it. Hey, you obviously have tremendous size and athletic ability. What other sports have you played or do you play at Wheeler High School?
So I wrestled for 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year, and I did work out with the track team last year. I did not compete, but I did all the practice, all the training and stuff just with that. And I would do that and then I would go right to a workout session right afterwards. So that's why I didn't get to compete.
Okay.
But I did do two sports.
Okay, good to hear. Tell me a little bit. You talked about accountability, but tell us, from a recruiting standpoint, what's been your recruiting experience so far? Who do you want to hear from? Who have you heard from? And what are you looking forward to in this upcoming offseason?
Well, with recruiting and stuff, I mean I've heard from quite a few coaches, but definitely the coaches that have struck like with me the most, like I feel like they actually are like interested in me and they show like that their program is like serious about me. Definitely schools like Yale, University of Pennsylvania. Trying to think of a few more. There's a few Princeton,
Okay.
and a few other schools definitely showed lots of love and definitely got great stuff going on up there. And school, I mean, I'm okay. I want to hear from everyone. D3, D2, D1. Like I love that because that shows that someone believes in me that I can come and help their program. That's definitely something that I want to like reflect on.
Well, I could tell you, Trent, you're just not getting to know me, but I've been dealing with football for 25 plus years, and I can tell you, there's no better experience. I've helped a lot of kids get to Ivy League. Getting an Ivy League education and playing that level of football is probably the best of both worlds. I know kids are all D1 and
Right.
Clemson and Alabama and Texas, but the Ivy League education and the competitive football is a really good solution. So I'm hoping that you can find a fit in one of those Ivy Leagues because it's not just a 4 year decision; it's a 40-year decision that'll affect the rest of your life. So kudos to you on that. I know that you'll get more coaches interested in you once they hear your story here in this podcast. You're doing a great job telling it. As we finish up here, tell us, coaches love coaching players that have a high competitive spirit. Tell these coaches right now about how competitive you are as a player.
I'm really competitive. Like I hate losing more than I like winning. Like I can't lose to nobody. Like when I'm going up against someone, I'm gonna stare them in their eyes and I'm gonna be like, I know I'm better than this person because I know what I've done. I know the training that I've done. I know the work that I've put in. And it's like when I've been under the iron and I've been out on the field, like just training, working, I know that I'm gonna be able to like go out and compete with the best of athletes.
Okay, I like it. You talked about this throughout the interview, but I always like to ask the question, why you? Why should a coach recruit you over some other kid in the same position, same size, same GPA? What are you going to bring to the story that you think a coach would like, what, we need to offer or recruit this kid?
One thing that I pride myself about in my game is I'm extremely versatile. Like they can put me at any position on the field, anything that they need, and I can go out and make plays. Like I just know that I'm that type of person where anytime that I'm on the field, I can make an impact.
I like it. That's a great response. We're going to finish up here, and you kind of talked about it just now, but I just want to give you a chance to look in the camera right now and give these coaches your elevator pitch. Focus on why they should recruit you, and more importantly, what are you going to bring to their program and to that university?
Um, I'm one of the hardest workers out there. Like I'll do anything that I need to be great, and I can play any position that is needed. I'll work, and I'll just be like as good as I can be. And it's like I'm physical. I have the size. I have the smarts. I'm very cerebral about football, and I take it really seriously, especially studying film, just like making sure that I know everything so I can be great.
Great response. Well, hey, before we close here, Trent, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank our sponsor, Epic. They are a new sports apparel company here in the Texas area that is putting out some very new, fresh, hot gear. My good friend, the CEO, Stefan Johnson, runs it. So I want to shout them out and helping us being a sponsor for the Spotlight podcast. If you want more information about some of the Epic gear that they have, and just so you know, EPIC stands for Every Play I Compete, which basically describes Trent, who we just got done talking to. Go to their Twitter page. It's at I am Epic 24/7, and check them out. Trent, I want to thank you. I'm very, very impressed. Love hearing your story and your journey. I think you're going to be very successful. You're mature. You're obviously a good player. You got your head on straight, and I'm not going to be surprised that we have another interview down the road after you commit to a school that's going to meet your academic and your football goals. So tell the family I said hello. If you ever have any questions, please let me know. Okay. Have a great rest of your evening.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too.